The Fall and Awakening. The first signs came without warning. Across the globe, communication systems failed simultaneously. Television broadcasts cut to static. Cell phones went dead. The internet vanished. For 37 minutes, humanity existed in a state of confused isolation. Colonel Maya Harrison stood on the observation deck of Cheyenne Mountain Complex, watching as the stars above Colorado Springs dimmed, then disappeared entirely. Not from clouds, from something else. Something massive that blocked out the night sky. "What the hell is that?" asked Lieutenant Walsh beside her. Maya didn't answer. 20 years in special forces had taught her to recognize the calm before catastrophe. This was something worse. The sky erupted in blue-white fire. The horizon ignited as though someone had drawn a blazing line across the world. Maya's comm unit crackled to life, overwhelmed with panicked reports from across the globe. "They're hitting major cities first," she said, watching distant Denver glow like a newly struck match. "Get everyone to battle stations. Now." They called themselves the Vanguard, a collective of alien species united under one militaristic banner. Their message was simple. Earth occupied valuable space in a contested sector. Humans were an obstacle to be removed. The first wave decimated military installations worldwide. The second targeted infrastructure. By day 3, governments had collapsed. Resistance was scattered, disorganized. Conventional forces were outmatched by technology centuries beyond Earth's capabilities. Maya's convoy sped through the ruins of what had once been Kansas City. Buildings lay toppled like fallen dominoes. Smoke blackened the sky. Her driver navigated through debris-filled streets, following a route that existed on no public map. "ETA 5 minutes, Colonel," the driver said. Maya nodded, studying the tablet in her hands. On screen, casualty reports scrolled past, the numbers climbing with each refresh. 8 billion humans on Earth when the invasion began. After just 1 week, that number had been reduced by nearly a third. The convoy halted before what appeared to be an abandoned grain silo. Maya stepped out, feeling the heat of still-burning fires miles away. "Authorization code," asked a voice from an unseen speaker. "Prometheus Rising," Maya replied. "Colonel Harrison, Special Operations Command." Heavy machinery groaned beneath their feet. The ground split open, revealing a vehicle elevator large enough for the entire convoy. As they descended into darkness, Maya allowed herself a moment of hope. If Project Nemesis still existed, humanity might have a chance. 1,000 feet below the Kansas plains, the facility hummed with activity. Scientists and military personnel moved with urgent purpose. Dr. Eliza Chen, the project's lead scientist, met Maya at the elevator. "We thought you were dead," said Chen, leading Maya through steel corridors. "Not for lack of trying on their part," Maya replied. "Is it true? Are they still viable?" Chen nodded. "We've maintained stasis protocols for 15 years. All subjects are stable." They reached a circular chamber. At its center stood a massive computer terminal surrounded by 12 vertical pods, each filled with a pale blue liquid that obscured the human forms floating within. "Project Nemesis," Maya whispered. "The most dangerous soldiers ever created." The Nemesis program had begun 20 years earlier, a classified initiative to enhance human soldiers beyond natural limitations. Genetic modification, cybernetic augmentation, neural rewiring, all aimed at creating warriors who could face threats beyond human capability. "They were never supposed to be activated," Chen said. "The ethical committees shut us down." "Ethics are a luxury we no longer have," Maya replied. She placed her hand on the terminal's biometric scanner. "Initiate revival sequence. Authorization. Harrison, Alpha 17. The chamber filled with steam as the stasis pods drained. One by one, 12 figures emerged, gasping their first breaths in 15 years. Men and women of diverse backgrounds, their bodies marked with scars and the subtle gleam of subdermal implants. First among them was Commander Jackson Reed, his dark skin glistening with stasis fluid. His eyes, one brown, one cybernetically enhanced with a silver iris, fixed on Maya. "Colonel Harrison," he said, voice rough from disuse, "must be the end of the world if they're waking us up." "Close enough," Maya replied. "We need you, Commander. All of you. Earth is under attack." Within hours, the Nemesis soldiers were briefed and equipped. Their customized armor and weapons, developed specifically for their enhanced capabilities, had been preserved alongside them. Each soldier specialized in different combat approaches. Reed was tactical command. Sophia Lai handled infiltration. Marcus Kruz was weapons and heavy assault. Amir Khan specialized in combat engineering, and so on. The Vanguard ships maintain a perimeter defense grid, Maya explained, pointing to holographic displays. They've established ground bases to process Earth's resources. This one is 60 miles north, a former Air Force base. Intelligence suggests it's lightly defended. A test run for you. Reed studied the hologram, his augmented eye scanning and analyzing. They don't expect resistance. Not anymore. That's our advantage, Maya said. They think we're beaten. The Nemesis team deployed that night. Conventional military tactics would have required a battalion. The 12 enhanced soldiers moved like shadows through the darkness, approaching the alien-occupied base from multiple vectors. From her command post, Maya watched through drone feeds as they engage. It wasn't a battle. It was a demonstration of lethal precision. Reed coordinated the team through neural links. Lai disabled security systems before the aliens detected the breach. Kruz's enhanced strength allowed him to tear through armored doors. Khan reprogrammed alien defense turrets to target their creators. In 17 minutes, the base fell. The Nemesis team suffered no casualties. As they searched the captured facility, Khan discovered something unexpected in the alien command center. A communications array broadcasting data to the Vanguard fleet. "I can access their network," he reported. "They're not as secure as they should be." Arrogance, maybe. "Download everything," Reed ordered. "Schematics, communications, tactical data. Anything that might give us an edge." The information they retrieved revealed a critical weakness. The Vanguard ships were connected through a quantum entanglement network. Their shields, weapons, and systems were synchronized, efficient, but vulnerable to cascading failures. Maya studied the data alongside Dr. Chen. "If we can disrupt their network at the source, the entire invasion force could be crippled," Chen finished. "But the source is their command ship, in orbit." Reed stepped forward. "Then that's where we're going." The alien data included details on Vanguard troop transports, ships that regularly traveled between the orbital fleet and ground bases. The plan formed quickly. Capture a transport, infiltrate the command ship, sabotage the quantum network. "It's suicide," Maya said. Reed smiled, the expression cold and determined. "We were created for the impossible, Colonel. Time to earn our existence." 3 days later, the Nemesis team ambushed a Vanguard transport as it landed at a processing facility in Nevada. The aliens aboard never had a chance to report the attack. Using the captured vessel, Reed and his team launched toward the massive command ship hanging in low Earth orbit. As they approached the alien fleet, the true scale of humanity's situation became clear. Hundreds of ships, each capable of destroying entire cities, surrounded Earth like a metal shroud. "Remember," Reed told his team as they prepared to dock with the command vessel, "we're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for every human who will ever live, or never get the chance to." The Nemesis soldiers checked their weapons one final time. Through the transport's viewport, the enormous command ship grew larger. Its surface bristled with weapons that could reduce continents to ash. "Approach vector locked," Lai reported from the pilot's seat. "We're going in." Part 2. The Counteroffensive. The Vanguard command ship dwarfed the captured transport vessel, its hull extending for miles in every direction. Commander Jackson Reed's enhanced vision could detect subtle patterns in the seemingly uniform surface: access points, weapons emplacements, sensor arrays. Docking in 30 seconds, Sophia Lai announced from the controls. Her fingers danced across the alien interface, her neural implants allowing her to interpret the unfamiliar technology. They're sending authentication requests. Send the clearance codes we captured. Reed ordered. The stolen data had included temporary access credentials. Whether they remained valid was the question that would determine if they survived the next minute. The transport shuddered as magnetic clamps locked onto its hull. A moment of breathless silence passed. "We're in," Lai whispered. They bought it. The 12 Nemesis soldiers moved with practiced efficiency, their bodies functioning as a single unit. Years of training and their neural enhancements eliminated the need for verbal communication. They synchronized through encrypted wireless connections directly between their enhanced brains. They entered the command ship through a maintenance airlock. The interior was vast, cavernous chambers with ceilings that disappeared into shadows, illuminated by pulsing blue light that seemed to flow like liquid through transparent conduits. According to the schematics, Khan said, studying data through his cybernetic interface, the quantum network hub is 43 levels up, near the center of the ship. Marcus Kruz took point, his massive frame enhanced by powered exoskeleton components. The corridors were largely empty. The Vanguard relied on automation more than manpower. When they did encounter alien crew members, the confrontations ended quickly and silently. "They're overconfident," Reed observed after they dispatched a patrol. "Their security is focused outward, not inward. Why worry about intruders when you believe your enemy is already defeated?" Lai replied. The team reached a central transit shaft, a vertical tunnel stretching hundreds of meters above and below. Gravity platforms moved smoothly along invisible tracks, carrying crew and materials throughout the vessel. "This is where it gets complicated," Reed said, studying the shaft's security systems. "Too many eyes. We need a diversion." The team split. Cruz and 3 others proceeded to a lower engineering level to plant explosives. The rest continued toward the quantum hub, hiding from passing patrols. When the explosions rocked the ship, alarms blared through every corridor. The diversion worked. Security forces rushed toward the engineering section, while Reed's team slipped onto an empty gravity platform. They ascended rapidly, passing dozens of levels. Reed could feel the ship's defensive systems activating, blast doors sealing, internal sensors scanning for intruders. Their window was closing. At level 43, they encountered their first serious resistance. A contingent of Vanguard elites guarded the approach to the quantum hub. 2-meter-tall warriors in articulated armor that seemed to absorb light. "Elite Guardians," Khan whispered. "The ship's dedicated security force." Reed assessed the situation. No stealth option. Direct approach. The Nemesis soldiers attacked with coordinated precision. Their enhanced strength and speed gave them an edge, but the Guardians were formidable opponents. Energy weapons discharge, filling the corridor with acrid smoke and the smell of ozone. Lee moved like water, slipping between attacks with inhuman agility. Khan's technical prowess allowed him to disrupt the Guardians' armor systems. Reed's tactical enhancements calculated trajectories and weak points faster than conscious thought. Still, they took casualties. 2 Nemesis soldiers fell, their enhanced bodies reaching their limits. The remaining team members pushed forward, more determined than ever. Beyond the Guardians lay the quantum hub, a circular chamber filled with crystalline structures that hummed with energy. At its center floated a polyhedral device, suspended in a field of blue light. "That's it," Khan said, approaching a control terminal. "The quantum entanglement matrix. It coordinates the entire Vanguard fleet." As he worked to access the system, the chamber door slid open. A tall figure entered, clearly different from the other Vanguard they had encountered. Its body was slender, almost elegant, with 4 arms and a head featuring multiple eye clusters. Humans, it spoke, its voice translating through some unseen technology. "You continue to surprise us. No species has ever infiltrated a command vessel before." Reed raised his weapon. "We're full of surprises. The alien commander, for that's clearly what it was, made a gesture that might have been amusement. You misunderstand your position. Even if you destroy this ship, there are thousands more. Your planet is already being processed. Why? Reed demanded. Why Earth? Why humans? Your world sits at a strategic nexus point, the commander explained. Control of this region secures our expansion into 3 spiral arms of the galaxy. As for humans, you are an infection. Aggressive, unpredictable. History shows species like yours eventually threaten galactic stability. While the commander spoke, Khan worked furiously at the terminal, his fingers moving too fast for normal human eyes to follow. Reed kept the alien's attention focused on him. We're not going to let you exterminate us, Reed said. Your permission is unnecessary, the commander replied. Though I admit, your resistance exceeds projections. These enhancements you've made to yourselves, they're impressive, if primitive, almost vanguard-like in ambition. The commander's upper right arm moved suddenly, producing a weapon unlike anything they had seen. Reed dove for cover as it fired, the blast reducing a section of wall to molecular dust. I've got it, Khan shouted. I can't shut down the network, but I can introduce a cascading error. It'll spread through every connected system. Do it, Reed ordered, returning fire at the commander. Khan input the final command. The crystalline structures surrounding them pulsed erratically. The polyhedral device at the center began to spin, emitting a high-pitched whine. The commander made a sound, perhaps the alien equivalent of a scream. Stop. You don't understand what you're doing. We understand perfectly, Reed replied. We're fighting back. The quantum matrix collapsed in on itself, creating a miniature implosion that swept through the chamber. The energy waves spread outward, traveling through the entangled network to every connected Vanguard ship. Throughout the fleet, systems failed simultaneously. Weapons powered down. Shields flickered and died. Engines cut out. The perfectly coordinated invasion force became a collection of stranded, vulnerable vessels. On Earth, the ground forces suddenly found themselves cut off from command. Their weapons, dependent on the network for power, became useless. The Nemesis team fought their way back to the transport vessel through corridors of confused and panicking aliens. The command ship was beginning to break apart around them as cascade failures triggered secondary explosions. We did it, Lai said as they launched away from the disintegrating vessel. We actually did it. Reed watched through the viewport as the massive command ship fractured into pieces, the explosion illuminating Earth's night side like a second sun. This isn't victory, he replied. Not yet. It's just our first counterattack. Back on Earth, Colonel Maya Harrison received the signal she had been waiting for, the Nemesis team's coded success message. Around her, the underground facility erupted in cheers. Dr. Chen approached, her expression a mixture of relief and concern. What happens now? Maya looked at the tactical displays, where Vanguard ships were shown drifting in orbit, disabled and vulnerable. Earth's remaining military forces were already mobilizing to target the stranded vessels. Now, Maya said, we take back our planet. The weeks that followed marked humanity's resurrection from the brink of extinction. Without their network and command structure, the Vanguard forces were isolated and vulnerable. Reed and the surviving Nemesis soldiers led Earth's military in systematic strikes against the invaders. The aliens had superior technology, but humans possessed something the Vanguard had not anticipated: desperate, unrelenting determination. City by city, region by region, Earth was reclaimed. 3 months after the command ship's destruction, Reed stood on a hillside overlooking the rebuilding efforts in what had once been Seattle. The alien structures were being dismantled, repurposed for human use. Vanguard technology, now understood and adapted, accelerated the recovery process. Colonel Harrison joined him, handing him a tablet with the latest reports. The last Vanguard stronghold in Asia fell yesterday. Australia reports full liberation. Africa and South America are progressing on schedule. Reed nodded. And the fleet. Most of the ships have been captured intact. Our engineers are studying their FTL systems. A moment of silence passed between them as they watched supply aircraft landing in the distance. "They'll come back, you know," Reed finally said. "The Vanguard. We destroyed one fleet, but their civilization spans galaxies." "Yes," Maya agreed. "But next time, we'll be ready." Reed's enhanced eye gleamed in the setting sun. "Next time, we'll be waiting for them among the stars." In orbit above Earth, the first human ships incorporating Vanguard technology were already under construction. The invasion had nearly destroyed humanity, but in their darkest hour, they had discovered their greatest strength, the unyielding will to survive against impossible odds. The galaxy would soon learn what the Vanguard had discovered too late. Earth was not just another world to be conquered. It was the home of a species that refused to be extinguished. A species that, when pushed to the edge of extinction, would fight back with everything they had. And when